Hello everyone and welcome to my infrastructure build showcase. We are in Minecraft 1.17.1 and though we are definitely a few versions behind the current, all of these builds should still be viable in later versions. This is a vanilla world. It was originally a Minecraft Realms world hosted by my friend Oso Cali back in 2021. And this base was occupied by myself and a builder by the name of Call Me Mr. President. If you don't know who that is, he is a phenomenal aesthetic builder. His builds have won contests, even made a complete and total adventure skyblock map called Navidium. Definitely worth checking out if you can. And with that, let's get after it. The first build that I wanted to show off is a basic XP bank. It can generate XP for you passively while you do other things around your base, provided that you have plenty of fuel and plenty of smeltable materials. As you are aware, when you collect items from the output of a furnace, you get XP for it. The more valuable the item, the more XP you get. When you automate the inputs and outputs the way I have here with hoppers, you don't lose the XP. The XP instead builds and is retained within the block. So, if you run a bunch of fuel and smeltable items through the furnace and just keep it going, after a while you'll build a respectable amount of XP. Not like a stupid crazy amount or anything, but I think it's pretty good for passive generation, and you can make it better with just again smelting more valuable materials. But to collect the XP that is gathered in here, all you have to do is stop the extraction from the output, which simplest way to do that, redstone signal, and that stops the hopper. When you do that, and it retains the item, and once the player takes the item from the output slot, he'll get the XP for that item, plus all the XP that is built up within the furnace. I'm going to let this build a little bit, because I don't know how much is in here. I can't remember when the last time this was gathered. It may have been a while. If that's the case, that would be amazing. That would be a fair amount of XP. Definitely might check that out later to see how well that did. Next on the agenda is animal farms. This little testament here to entity cramming is my answer to cow farming. In retrospect, I know I should have dug this pit a bit further back that way. Still may, but as you can see, very simple precept, well lit within the pit as well as on the side. 2-block deep pit to ensure that the animals don't get free. Easy entrance and egress for the player, and some temporary storage nearby. There's about 64 to 70 animals present, and that's by design. The science, the processing is very simple. 1 stack of wheat per our farm over there, and you butcher 32. Use 64, kill 32. That's the processing routine every time. Granted, with all this cramming and how close things are in here, using a sword with the sweeping edge is not advised. A jump strike, if you can land every one, will allow you to use looting, which is always good, gets you extra resources. But in all honesty, I think it's better just to use a good axe, because you can't mess up that jump strike at all. If you mess up the jump strike with a sword, you get the sweeping edge anyway. But you can't apply looting to an axe. But with this level of processing, I don't think looting matters all that much. So a jump strike is way more surgical, and you can generate a fair amount of XP and resources with this method, with a cowphone. Plenty of leather for books as well. The same precept with the sheep, with one little difference. I advise shearing the sheep before you butcher them. Still, 64, 64 wheat, 32 kills with an axe jump strike. But shear them first, because you get more wool that way for trades and building blocks, recipes, etc., etc. Now, with the chickens, I had to do things a little bit differently. Precept's still the same. 64, a stack of 64 seeds, and then you kill 32 adult chickens. I had to, engineer this little bath here because of egg collection. What happens is the eggs get funneled by the water in the corners towards the center, and is collected down here. And the mechanics are very simple. They drop from that hole over there. There are hoppers along this trench. When the chest and the hoppers fill up, the excess eggs will run off and get destroyed. So I have managed to at least help with the entity problem that way. But yeah, I got slabs here to keep myself from doing something dumb and running into the trench. Same here, just in case I find a way to fall in anyway. Try to arrow trap this as best I can. Got a fence here to keep me from running off the side too. But as you can see, the hopper already filled up, and now the excess eggs are getting destroyed in the lava. Now, as for the breeding and killing of chickens, it's very simple. I've got a fence post here to keep players from falling into the collection pit. So basically, you use the seeds here underneath. You can feed the chickens this way. And then again, you don't have to jump strike here. There's no point. You'll just get caught up in the water if you do. You can just, surgically kill 32 chickens. And yeah. Good food, good resources, good experience, feathers for arrows. Yeah, good way to very efficient farm. Yeah, with all these entities here, I know that can't be good for anybody's graphics card, but yeah, I definitely should have. At the maybe not the chicken one, but definitely the other animal pins, I should have pushed back, I don't know, at least 5 blocks, I think. Which I still may do one day. Yeah, why not? The next for XP and resource collection is a mob farm. And this is a mob dropper. The dropper itself is actually located up at World Height. This here is simply an elevator to get you there. I built it at World Height to make sure players were far enough from the ground to prevent enemies from spawning down here. Anything spawning anywhere else in your world inhibits the effectiveness of a dark room style dropper. This is good. This works good if you're a single player world, or if you're on a server where you can get on by yourself from time to time. The other thing that inhibits is if other players are on. If other players, I noticed when other players were on the realms when I was originally playing this map, this was not as effective. But I could get on a few times when nobody else was due to time differences, and it worked great. and I can show you in a minute. This is an elevator mechanism with water and a soul sand block underneath. Um, you will not drown because of the soul sand. The air bubbles keep you oxygenated. So, yeah, it's a very long elevator, but very effective. And see, the bubbles, oxygen bubbles are not going down. So, that's very useful. And as you can see, I can't swim back down, so there was no need to trapdoor this. And here we are. This is the mob dropper. And I even made it to where players could AFK here. There's an AFK chair, beds. You could sit here and farm almost indefinitely. Very simple precept. Mobs spawn in a dark room, which is in the the four quadrants you see there. There is water channels, four water channels here, 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 and on the other side of this column. Each channel has trapdoors that are open, lining each wall. And the mobs think it's a solid block. So when they spawn, they'll move around, fall into the channel, fall into the pit, fall roughly 20, 22 blocks, get softened up down here. And as you can see, a few guests have already assembled. And they're weak. One shot usually does the job. Yep, very effective. Yeah, and the hits just keep on rolling in. Yep, as you can see, it's been in operation, got quite a few zombie hits as trophies, and they still keep coming in. I've got the column and the channels 3 blocks wide, so spiders will fall as well. The chamber is 2 blocks tall. Enderman, you don't want Enderman spawning in such a dropper because they'll collect the blocks and ruin it. So, unfortunately, not good for collecting ender pearls. That's the downside. But the upside, very good for collecting every other mob drop and experience. See, just standing here talking for this few minutes, plenty have already gathered. Anyway, there's hopper. These are half slabs. And you get the XP. The hoppers will gather the items even through the half slab. And as you can see, I've got quite a bit. Plenty of bones for the crops. Tons of stuff like zombie flesh for like composters and stuff. String, arrows. Yeah, we got so many arrows here. There was no need to bother with infinity or even crafting arrows with feathers anymore. Even had to come up with some secondary storage over here. See, very good. If you wanted to get excessive amounts of gunpowder, this is I definitely recommend something like this for that. Get a little bit of gear too. This is a good way to get a good bow. You could collect bows from skeletons and merge a bunch of them in an anvil and get a really decent bow that way. But as you can see, very effective. Definitely something I would recommend doing if opportunity permits, or circumstances permit is what I meant to say. Sometimes, like in certain mod packs and other things, mechanics are changed or in such a way that droppers are not viable, but for vanilla builds and in the later versions of Minecraft, this should still work. Definitely recommend. Alright, now let's discuss what to do with all that experience and all those resources that we have gathered. This odd looking structure is my villager farm. The main wing here is where the villagers are housed. This wing here, with this narrow wing, serves a special purpose that we will go into shortly. Note the track and the block. And this is unoccupied. Keep me from making a mistake. See, we've had a few raids here. Alright, now, definitely cover this momentarily. But as you can see, it's very basic in its design. It is comprised of individual wings. The beauty of the design is that it's very, very modular. We can keep adding as we need to. And technically, I could even expand not in just one direction, but I could also expand in this direction if I chose, or even this one. There's no reason why I couldn't continue expanding this out because everything is done and moved around via a railing system that we configure as we need it. As far as needs go, it's just basically Prez and I, it's whatever enchant books that we wanted. This is the breeding center. Give the villagers food, and when they breed, they automatically breed a nitwit, a jobless villager. We put a cart down here, encourage it to, push it, encourage it into the cart. Remove this fence and use the railing system to put it in a brand new stall once we, build the stall. And then the process is the same. The stalls are very basic. They're all the same design. We keep a minecart in there, and this keeps the villager where we need him to be. He'll always be in one of two places as a result. He'll either be in bed at night so he can refresh his trades, and he will be he'll instantly get caught in the cart the moment he wakes up. So with that, we take the job block that we want, like the lectern here, and we just keep destroying it and putting it down until we get trades that we want. And once we do, we lock it in by trading emeralds with him and putting up a sign letting him know what he is for. Mending here, unbreaking here. This is for trading chicken and coal. He's got some good trades there. We may not have locked this guy in yet. No, I don't think we did. We never got around to locking in this guy. And he's definitely probably for trading in wool. Oh, here's our looting guy. Looting 2 looks like. Never got looting 3, sadly. Sometimes it's hard to get the enchants you want, but it's better than nothing. Sometimes it's way better than the random alternative. But anyway, so we get the trades we want with the resources, and use it to buy the enchants we want. Now, but this farm design doesn't stop there. Now to this wing that we've got here and why it's so far away. He's despawned now, unfortunately. Probably, I'm not sure why, but we had a named zombie down there in a minecart. So once we got the trade locked in, we reconfigured the track system to deliver the zombie onto this rail here, and he would zombify the villager. And then we just use the track system, hit this button here, and sent him back to his holding area here. And the reason he's so far away is because of his aggro range. Unfortunately, scared villagers won't reproduce. So we had to put him considerable distance away. But anyway, we could repeat the process so long as we had a zombie, and players could get they could after they zombified the villager and saved him, with the golden apple. Golden apple weakness potion bit, which we don't seem to have any here right now. After we cured him, again, the entire time trapped there, so it's relatively safe to get the job done. You get the better trades. So that was definitely useful. And yeah, so it's not that difficult a design to replicate or reproduce. Pretty straightforward and very modular and expandable. And that's pretty much, I think that is it for all the functional builds that I wanted to show off. Oh, almost forgot. I wanted to see where we stood with this. Uh, Need to smelt something though. Let's see, what can I smelt? Get some extra kelp. This is plenty. And let's see. Very curious to see if we, when the last time this was cleared out. Okay, let's see. 28 levels. Not as much as I was hoping. But still, a level or two in there. I'm going to assume that was nothing in it when I began the recording session. But still, like I said, for passive generation, not bad. I mean, there's definitely the argument what you put into it is not what you get out of it. But I would say, I would disagree with that long term. I think that this is definitely viable for getting some XP. Not as good as the other methods we um, reviewed, but definitely okay. And you can, like, put this concept on steroids. I have seen on YouTube massive builds based on this concept. I'm talking about giant farms that guys have automated with like a Minecraft cart and track system for gathering both fueled and smeltable materials and just depositing in the furnace and then just let it run while they do other stuff like build or adventure or whatever, and come back to like ridiculous, insane amount of of XP. I definitely don't know or don't plan to put that kind of time into it, but definitely okay for passive generation. I definitely yeah, or low level passive generation the way it is now. So yeah, there you go. Okay, that is the end of the infrastructure build. I've got some other builds to show off, but they don't really aid in that part. I will show off one though, because I am kind of proud of it. Um, this is a little fun thing that he and I put together for the rest of our friends on the server. And this is a special tunnel ride to the end portal. And let's hit it. Boom. We kind of made it, I remember us making it very, you know, try to making it decorative and look nice. You see, we replicated a mine shaft here. There's one of these. There's a geode there. Yeah, well, I might have to do a walkthrough. Yeah, this was fun. Just a fun way to get to the end portal. Walled off everything. Oh, we had a blast making this. We actually used a bunch of TNT with all that gunpowder that we gathered before to make a very abstract tunnel. You know, to open it up a little bit because you can see the rest of the ride is a bit claustrophobic. So, yeah, that was fun. A few lava pits here and there. We managed to find quite a few. The closer we, as I recall, the closer we got to the actual end point, I believe we dug into an ocean, and I think we turned that into a little aquarium type piece for the build. I think we'll see that momentarily. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that part. Lava headers are above us there. Yeah, we wanted it to make a fun ride kind of type deal, you know. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about the dropper into the geode. Yeah, yeah, that was cool. Oh, there's the aquarium bit I mentioned. Oh, yeah, this is the library part. We made that part of the ride. And boom. Yeah, there was, yeah, now I remember. This was like surrounded by ocean. So yeah, we basically turned the end portal into all of it. We turned all of it into a basically like a reverse aquarium. And we even made beds and gear for everybody. So for when we went to fight the Ender dragon together, and that was fun. Spare gear, spare potions. Yeah, yeah. There's Callie. Earth Sparrow and stuff. Yeah, that was fun. I'm definitely the one who put that sign there. That's definitely something. That's a very me thing to do. Yeah, but yeah, that was definitely a cool one of my mine and Prez's joint builds there. Tried to make use of every feature that we could find, or every feature that we kind of dug into. Really tried to include a couple of heart-stopping moments, like the drop into the geode and all that stuff. Most of it's a fairly boring ride, but still some interesting things to see. Definitely a fun little project. I've forgotten how long it was, but we lit up everything just enough to keep and structured things in such a way to keep mobs off the track. So I think that one chamber is the only open exposed area. So probably the worst that can happen there is maybe a lucky shot from a skeleton might get you off, knock you off the track, possibly. But I don't recall it happening to anyone. So just a safe and interesting looking ride. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the builds plural, and found everything. Found this video somewhat educational. Uh, Thank you very much for stopping by.